Hello, welcome back to Deer Corner. Running a little late Friday afternoon. I do have to work a 50-hour week, and I try to get up here every weekend. Today I'm going to go out and scout out an area here. I acquired a piece of property next to the cabin's property here, and I'm wanting to go out and kind of scout it out. And even in my age, I still like camping, so I'm planning to do an overnight. One thing I do look for when I'm scouting this early in the year, when the leaves just get out, things are budding, and I look at the thorny plants, your rose bushes, even your black locust. The leaves coming off of them are higher in starch and protein than a lot of your other shrubbery, and deer seem to, coming after winter, deer seem to chew on them first to get the protein and the starches. So that is one thing I look at right off the bat when I go out looking this early in the year. So what I'm going to do, I got my bag, I got my list, things put together, and I'm going to go ahead and hike on out there, and I'm going to bring you along with me.
Yeah, this is an old road bed, late 1800s, early 1900s. It did run in North Carolina into Georgia, but later, they say around 1930 or so, they abandoned this section of road to find an easier way around the mountain. So this came with the property, and it's an old easy trail road bed. So I'm going to go ahead and walk on down through here a little bit, and be about 20 minutes. So I'll just bring you along. Alright, made it back in here. First thing I'm going to do, get this pack off, find me a decently flat spot. As you can see here, it just starts dropping off right off the bat. So I'm going to see if I can find a not so hilly of a spot to set up camp. And then I'm going to go walking around and do some scouting. It's about 4 o'clock, and I got a couple hours of walking around and looking, and give me about an hour or so to set up camp. So let me go ahead and get this pack off, and we'll see you when we're out walking around. Yeah, this here's an old black oak. Old black oak tree here. I don't know how old it is. They don't grow straight. And very seldom do I see one that's solid. This one here is hollow too. This is something that I look when I'm looking for deer too. It has a real soft bark. You can actually peel it off. It has a real soft bark. But what I like is this. You can see here where deer have been rubbing on it. You can see the marks up through here where deer have been hitting it. You get these old black oaks, they'll rub on it. And if you see close enough, you can actually see an antler print. But yeah, when you come across these, you do a little looking. But old black oak. We'll move around, see what else we can find. Alright, found another black oak Lehman. We'll check the bottom of this one out. See what we got here. But, yep. Let's see where they got into this one too. You peel that bark right off. It just pops right off. They'll rub on them. Let's see some more. Walk around. Look at some more. Blueberries everywhere. Boy, blueberries. I'm going to have a lot of blueberries this year. Droppings there. Look at that. Nice little mountain fern right there. You see where the deer been hitting these little bushes down through here. They about chewed all the leaves off these little bitty bushes coming through here. You can see where they nipping them off. Yeah, here's some droppings right here. It takes a little practice, but you can pretty well tell what deer eat. Damn. That deer must have been eating some ragweed or something. That tastes like crap. Yeah, I'm serious, folks. You can sure. A little practice. You try that at home, you'll enjoy it. See where the head of this little valley starts right here. Years and years of washing. Cut this out. Hundreds of years. Cut this down, cut this out. So there's some sign of deer in here, but most likely they're the same deer that I have on my land. And they're just roaming around. Alright, let me get back up here. I gotta get camp set up. Starting to get a little late. About an hour and a half. Get camp set. So let me get on up out of here. Okay, get my camp started here. Simple little design. I like it. Quick. Simple little setup. Use my poncho for ground cover. Pull my sleeping bag out. Room for my, plenty of room. The rest of my gear. Inside, got plenty of room, actually for 2 people. Got my poncho down for bed cover, ground cover, my sleeping bag, and I'll use my backpack for a pillow. But the ground is still soft enough to lay on without a mat. But here in another month, this will harden up. You need a mat. But yeah, I'm gonna be spending the night. All right, how you doing? Got camp set up, didn't take long. I'm gonna sit down and fire me up this can of campfire, boil me up some water, and make me up some chili mac with beef. Really, it's not bad at all. Not too bad. But got about 30 minutes of sunlight left. But one of the things that when I'm out scouting, and what I really am looking for are the deer droppings. The deer droppings tell me a whole lot. I look for the pile droppings. Now your does a pile, leave their droppings in a pile. Very seldom will they leave a streak of droppings. And today I found several piles of droppings, some a couple days old, some were done this morning. And that's telling me that the deer are traveling through the area on a regular basis because there's several different days of piles. And also the piles will tell me basically how large the deer is. The bigger the pile, the bigger the deer. Well, that's not always true, but right now it is because there's plenty for them to eat. You can't really tell the sex by
the pile, the droppings, whether they're big, small, oval. You can't tell if it's a doe or a buck by the shape. But what you can do is tell a doe or a buck. See, a doe will pile. A buck, now with he getting up out of his bed, he's getting up, moving around, he'll pile. But most generally, a buck will streak his droppings. You know what I mean by that? You'll have a line of droppings. And your younger bucks are usually like 3-4 foot long. But your older bucks, like I found today, now I did find a streak today, was about 5 foot long, which is a mature buck. And they also do that because not only do they mark by rubs, scrapes, they also do marking by their pilings. So to keep that in mind when you're out scouting, look for your piles. That way you know where the does are. The does don't go to the bucks during the rut. The bucks come to the does. So right now you're hunting does. You're trying to find the does, trying to find their habitat, trying to find their lifestyle, where they're moving, and then go from there. But fortunately I did find several piles and a couple days old and a day old, and so that's what I look for. And what they're feeding on. I look at that too. But yeah, piling is a very key thing in locating your does. You locate your does, you will locate your bucks during hunting season. So I got about 30 minutes of sunlight left, and I'm going to go ahead and boil me up some water, cook me up some chili mac, a cup of coffee, and sit back tonight. Early this spring right now, the tree frogs, they're really going at it, and we'll have a concert tonight. And I'll bring you in on that concert. Nothing like sleeping out here in a tent and listening to tree frog. They'll just put you to sleep. But yeah, I'll bring you in on that tonight. And just remember, leave a comment. You got a comment, leave a comment. And hit that arrow, subscribe. And I'm not going anywhere, so I'm just going to keep bringing out information, and I hope it helps. That's all I'm doing, is trying to give it little information to help. So thanks for coming along, and I'll bring you in to the concert later tonight.
Yeah, it brings me back for years. Every time I go out camping, think about the way it used to be years ago when I was growing up. We used to do a lot of camping out of the lake. A very relaxful evening, and nice and calm. I listen to the tree frogs and the crickets. Just nothing better. It's great. But it's time to call it quits. Time to call it going to bed. So I'm gonna go ahead and button up, lay down, turn the light off, and had a very, very good evening. So let's just go ahead and call her done. Done for the day. Nice and quiet. Tree frogs and the crickets. So hope to see you again. So I'm gonna turn the light off and call it quits.